Welcome to my views and news. Some news stories for you. First one is from Eritrea. Pictures of recruits who are basically students at Sawa Military Training Center from Eritrea are being shared. Will Eritrea put an end to indefinite military service and conscriptions? Now, when TPLF is going to be disarmed, Tigray force is going to be disarmed, what will Eritrea do? Because Eritrea has been saying, Eritrean government, that it was facing a large enemy, a bigger enemy. So that is why it was forced to make it mandatory for all youth to be trained militarily. Secondly, viewers, Ethiopia, Oromia region, Wellega, where from Wellega some very disturbing videos are being shared showing decapitated heads of some OLA fighters are being shown by Amhara, Fano fighters. Are these videos old or new? Because lots of old videos and pictures are being shared too. Meanwhile, protests are intensifying in the Oromia region against infiltration by Fano fighters into Oromia, which led to large-scale civilian killings in Wellega. And thirdly, apart from Wellega, in East Shewa zone of Oromia as well, there was an attack in 3 cabalets of this zone of Oromia from Amhara region. And lastly, viewers, a new story from Uganda, viewers, where Yoweri Museveni in power since 1986, but people are pleading him to run for his 7th term. Who was the one who requested Yoweri Museveni to run for another term? Details for you. Firstly, viewers, Eritrea. New pictures from Sawa training center, military training center are being shared. The pictures show Sawa military training center and recruits who are undergoing military training there. We know that it is mandatory for Eritrean students in the second year of secondary school year to join military training. And for an intermediate degree, they must they must be part of military training. That is why Eritrean national service, Eritrean military service for youth is criticized, because you cannot link education and military training. Military service, national service is in practice in several countries of the world, but it is not indefinite, and studies and military training are not linked. Problem in Eritrea is that education and military training are linked, and sometimes national service is indefinite. Eritrean government justifies this indefinite service by saying that when Eritrea became independent in 1991, EPRDF government tried to weaken Eritrea. It attacked Eritrea. TPLF and EPRDF waged war on Eritrea. So Eritrea was faced with a much larger rival, Ethiopia. In terms of population, of course, Ethiopia is much larger than Eritrea. So that is why Eritrea has to enforce mandatory military training for youth. And we know that for decades, for around 2.5 decades, tensions remained between Eritrea and Ethiopia. Now, when peace deal has been signed and TPL are going to be disarmed in coming months, will Eritrea put an end to its mandatory military service for youth, which has no limit, national service, which is indefinite, and will Eritrea disassociate education and military training for youth? Let's see. Secondly, viewers, Oromia region of Ethiopia, from where disturbing videos are being shared. I cannot show the videos here, very graphic videos. Are the videos old or new? Don't know, because lots of old stuff is also being shared, pictures, videos, and some are photoshopped. That is why from Oromia, from Wellega, if you receive anything, please try to recheck it. The videos are showing decapitated heads of allegedly some OLA fighters. Fano fighters can be seen. They are talking, they are saying that the OLA fighters have been killed and they are parading their decapitated heads. Barbaric parade of decapitated heads should be condemned, definitely. And the videos, one of the videos is reportedly from Jardega Jarte, which is in Horogodoro, Wellega. So that just shows the gravity of the situation. Now decapitated heads are being paraded in Wellega. Where is government? I have not seen a single statement from Oromia regional government, Ethiopian federal government so far. What is happening in Wellega? Who is the aggressor? Who is the victim? No statements from the two governments. Though ENDF is there trying to control the situation, but government must take charge. It must be in control of the situation, otherwise it will keep on happening and there won't be any end to this conflict. Thirdly, viewers, protests happened in several parts of Oromia on Monday. In a previous video, we showed you a video showing demonstrations in Kamte. Apart from Nakamte, protests were held in RC, Harage, Nakamte too, and at Haramaya University. Protesters accused Fano fighters, Amhara forces of committing atrocities against civilians of Oromia. They say that Oromos have been killed in large number in Kiramo, Amoro, and Anger Goten, which are not far away from Amhara, Oromia border. So overall, tensions are rising in Oromia region. Regional government trying to control the situation, but if incursions from Amhara region into Oromia continue, it can lead to start of some street movement against the government. Though it's difficult to say who will lead this movement, but if it goes on, people will rise because number of casualties in Wellega is very high. Reportedly in the last 3 to 4 days, hundreds have been killed there. Government's silence and continued attacks from Amhara on Oromia will lead to repercussions for the government. It can lead to start of a movement against the government. Thirdly, apart from Wellega, attacks are being reported on Oromia side of the border from Amhara region in East Shewa too. East Shewa, Situated to the east of Addis Ababa is the zone where reportedly on Monday some attacks were carried out from Amhara region by Fano fighters. Three Kabyles were targeted. The three Kabyles are Bota Badaso, Bota Dangore, and Bota Vagare. The three Kabyles are in East Shewa. Some houses were set on fire. Pictures, videos are being shared from East Shewa showing burning houses, and at least two casualties are being confirmed in attacks from Amhara region on Oromia in East Shewa. Lastly, towards Uganda, where Yoweri Museveni, Ugandan president in power since 1986. His son is, he wants to be the next president, Muzi Rugaba, but it seems Yoweri is not going to quit. President of Ugandan Medical Association is Samuel Odong Olado. Samuel Odong Olado was seen around 24 hours ago requesting Yoweri Museveni to run for 7th term. The president in power since 1986 and the president of Ugandan Medical Association wants the president Yoweri Museveni to run for another term. Next election in Uganda will be held in 2026. Elections held in the past were not fair and transparent. Opposition rejected results. We know that Bobby Wine in last election criticized the government. He said election was not fair. Everything was rigged. And that is what international media reported too. There was large-scale irregularities. Elections are held, no change. No change, why? Because people in power, they want continuation of Yoweri Museveni's rule. Meanwhile, Ugandan Medical Association issued a statement a few hours ago, distancing itself from President Samuel Odong Olado's statement. The association said that it was non-partisan association. It had no role in politics, and Samuel's views were his personal views. But it just shows that in some African countries, it is difficult to bring about change because those doctors, lawyers, teachers, they constitute educated class of a country. If these educated people want continuation of status quo in the form of serving presidents by force for decades, if this educated lot is so politically compromised, it means that change is far away in such countries. For change, the educated classes will have to take the lead. But they have their own interests. That is why perhaps Samuel Odong Olado is reportedly son of a military officer. So obviously his sympathies, his loyalties are with Yoweri Museveni, who is ready more than ever to run for another term in 2026. Thank you for watching.